All right, so today I want to kind of just talk about a couple key things to make some protein pancakes. These are great just for your everyday go-tos. So I'm going to explain the protein, what to cook with, and then how to put it together. So first thing is the protein. I really love to use this one right here. It's called Cinnamon Cereal. It's by Body Tech. It's a whey isolate, so that means you're going to have your low fats, your low carbs, and a good amount of protein from your whey protein. Whey protein is usually a really good one to use. It's quick and easy. It's great post-workout. It's just an easy, clean one. Also, if you don't have the cinnamon cereal, what I recommend is one that's unflavored. So when I make like a big amount of this, I'll usually do, like if I do 6 servings, I'll do 2 scoops of this one, and then 1 scoop of the unflavored, and it balances itself out. So that's that. Then you're gonna need some type of spray, pan spray, olive oil spray. Key thing that you're looking for, this is 0 calories right here. And you're gonna need a stevia, and this is a vanilla stevia, so what's great is it almost acts like a vanilla extract, but it's 0 calories as well, so that's gonna be important. Then at the end, I put in spinach. Then we have dried oats. We got our protein powder, a little bit of salt and cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, your preference on the cinnamon, then 2 egg whites, fat-free cottage cheese. So we're gonna blend those. So first part about putting this all together, put all the dry ingredients together, all the wet ingredients together, then you're gonna blend both. So we'll start off with the dried. You're gonna take your dried oats, throw it in here. That's gonna be 1/3 of a cup on your dried oats. Then this is gonna be 1/2 scoop of protein. This has 1/8 of your 1/8 teaspoon of your salt, and then a decent amount of cinnamon. And we're gonna just stir that together so it's all evenly distributed. From there, you're gonna put in your egg whites into a bowl. Make sure you get all of it in. And then we're gonna go with our cottage cheese as well. We're gonna put that in into your egg whites. And this is, so it's 2 egg whites, and then the cottage cheese, the fat-free cottage cheese is 1/2 scoop. And then from there, we're gonna take about 5 drops of this, the stevia. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're gonna put that down. Then we're gonna mix this together. And this is the important part, because the first time I made this, I didn't do any of this. I didn't mix any of it. I just kind of put it all together and expect it to work, and it doesn't come out the same. So it's gonna kind of look disgusting at first, but that's okay. It'll be fine after. So now that that's all mixed up, the next step you're gonna do is put in all the dry ingredients into this. Once that's in there, you're gonna stir that up now. And make sure you just get everything all mixed together pretty well. If you're using a cinnamon protein, it'll start to smell really good, which is always makes you extra hungry. You're like, why isn't this done already? So we're gonna mix all that together. Then from here, we're gonna take all that, you're gonna take your blender. This is the most important part. You're gonna take all this and put it into your blender. So we're gonna take your spatula, scoop it down, get all that extra stuff that was around the corners. And we're gonna just put it right into the blender. And when you do this, this is the important part, because what we're doing here is we're gonna blend it all together, and it's gonna fluff up to make it so it looks just like your pancake mix that you would make with like normal pancake mix. So from here, put your top on, and then we're gonna stick it on. Now, I make sure that I put this in after I start blending this, because then it's gonna help it. So we're gonna first start it. Then I'm gonna turn it high. From there, mix, this is where this really works good. The pancakes are gonna turn a little green, but don't be scared, it's okay. That just means they're turning healthy on you. So we're gonna stick that in there, put this back on. All right, so now that we got it done, all blended up with the spinach in it, you're gonna take that. I like to just pour it into another pouring container. Usually I like to wash this pretty quick so it doesn't dry up next to it. Make sure you're gonna get all the stuff out of here so you can use it for get all the extra calories that you need. Especially because you are on a calorie restriction, so just make sure you get as much as you can, especially all that good green spinach in there. It's a natural diuretic, so that's gonna help keep the water weight low. All right, so then you're gonna rinse it out. Now it's here, ready to be poured. It should be like pretty nice and thick. From here, we're gonna take this over and start to make our pancakes. And I'll show you the next step. All right, so for our final step, we're gonna go ahead and start to heat up the pan, make sure the pan is nice and warm. We're gonna take our spray, go ahead and spray it onto the pan. There we go. From there, we're gonna make sure that coats the whole pan. And I usually like to use one of these guys where you can scoop it in, and then you're gonna just pour it on. Just like that. Then we're gonna let those sit. Medium to high heat is perfect for you. It's gonna start to get ready, and then you'll take your little flipper. So, common thing is like, when do I know to flip it? I usually check two things. I might like check the bottom if it's getting slightly brown, or I will just move the pan. I'll shake the pan. I'll do that in a second for you. And that's when I usually know it's ready to be flipped, because they'll be able to move around, especially if you got a good non-stick pan. The other option is just to go like this, and you just look at the bottom, see how that one's almost ready. But again, you'll kind of know right when it's ready when it can move. Also, one thing I did wrong here was the pan wasn't hot enough. You want to hear it right when you put it on to sizzle slightly. So now they're getting ready now. From here, we will take it. Oh, look at my bad skills. And then turn it over. It's that one. Flip that one. Last one. We're gonna put that one over. If you notice, they're coming out like a normal pancake, and that's always going to help the flavoring, the ideal look to them. Second batch is always a little bit better than the first ones. Great. So the first side's about 1 minute to 2 minutes. The second side's a little bit less, about 1 minute. Should be enough to make sure they're ready to go. But you can also just check them. And sometimes if I'm eating them right away, I'll make sure they're like perfectly cooked. If I'm eating them the next day, I'll leave them slightly undercooked, just because that's gonna help the next day when I recook them. I put them in the toaster because I think, you just slap them down inside there, and that works perfect. So we're gonna put that back on. Now this second time, this is gonna cook a lot quicker. And now you're hearing that sizzle. That's what you wanna hear. It's gonna cook it perfectly. You would never think green pancakes would taste good, but these guys taste amazing. So again, you're gonna let it sit for about 1 minute. Now it's like really going strong. Kind of see the heat rising, slight bit of smoke. I would usually have the fan on, but you wouldn't be able to hear me right now, so we're just gonna smoke the house out. It's okay. All right, so from here, you can check it. This one's today's not really wanting to slide, so we'll just go ahead and flip them. See how they have that nice little brown top on them? That's perfect. You'll see them rise a little bit. When you're seeing them rise, you know they're doing their job. And that's it. It's that simple. And they're extra tasty. Now, what to use it with, I usually love to put Walden Farms syrup on these. It's perfect. The maple syrup is wonderful. The walnut syrup is wonderful. But they're tasty. And it just makes it taste really nice and perfect. So here's a really good one for the color. That helps you to see. And then good to go. And there you go. That's your protein pancakes.